The grand lobby of the Sterling Crown Hotel sparkled beneath towering crystal chandeliers. Marble floors reflected the warm golden lights, and soft piano music floated through the air. Guests in elegant suits and expensive dresses walked confidently toward the reception desk, while hotel staff greeted them with perfect smiles. Into this luxurious world stepped a tired-looking single father named Ethan Carter. His faded jeans showed signs of hard work, and his simple blue shirt was wrinkled from a long drive. A small backpack rested on one shoulder while his 7-year-old daughter, Lily, held his hand tightly. Her pink sneakers were dusty, and she hugged a worn teddy bear with one arm. "Daddy," Lily whispered, looking around in amazement, "this place is beautiful." Ethan smiled warmly. "It is, sweetheart. What if they don't let us stay?" He squeezed her hand gently. "They will. We have a reservation." Neither of them noticed several employees exchanging judgmental glances. One bellboy quietly muttered to another, "They must have walked into the wrong hotel." The other laughed softly, probably looking for directions. At the reception desk, a young receptionist named Vanessa barely looked up. "Yes." Ethan smiled politely. "I have a reservation under Ethan Carter." She typed slowly. After a few seconds, she frowned. "There is a reservation. Wonderful. But," she looked him up and down, "you'll need to show identification." Ethan handed over his driver's license. She examined it suspiciously before typing again. Several guests waiting nearby watched with curiosity. Vanessa leaned closer. "Are you sure you booked the Sterling Crown Hotel?" "Yes. This is our presidential family suite." "I know." She raised one eyebrow. "That suite costs several $1,000s. "I understand." Another employee couldn't hide his laughter. Vanessa whispered loudly enough for others to hear. "Sometimes people accidentally book the wrong hotel online." Several guests chuckled. Lily lowered her head. "Daddy." Ethan remained calm. "I assure you, the reservation is correct." Vanessa crossed her arms. "I'm going to need the credit card used for booking." He handed it over. She stared at the simple gray card. "It doesn't even look premium." She ran the card. "Approved." Her smile disappeared. Still unconvinced, she called the assistant manager. A tall man named Richard approached. "What seems to be the problem?" Vanessa answered loudly. "This gentleman claims he reserved the presidential suite." Richard looked Ethan over from head to toe. Then he smiled sarcastically. "I'm afraid our luxury suites are reserved for premium guests." "I am a guest." Richard shook his head. "I'm suggesting that perhaps another hotel would better fit your budget." Lily looked ready to cry. Ethan knelt beside her. "It's okay. But Daddy, they don't like us." He gently brushed a strand of hair away from her face. "We never judge people by how they treat us. We show kindness anyway." Several guests overheard his words. An elderly woman sitting nearby frowned at Richard's behavior. Meanwhile, Richard continued, "If you can't afford the suite, I can recommend a motel 5 miles away." "I can afford it." Richard sighed dramatically. "Sir, please don't make this difficult. I only want the room I reserved." Security guards quietly moved closer. One guard whispered, "Should we escort them out?" Richard nodded slightly. "Be ready." Lily hugged Ethan tightly. "I'm scared." "You don't need to be." Just then, a housekeeper pushing a cleaning cart paused nearby. She recognized Ethan immediately. Months earlier, Ethan had quietly helped pay for her son's surgery without telling anyone. She had never forgotten his kindness. Her eyes widened. "Mr. Carter." The lobby became silent. Ethan smiled warmly. "Hello, Maria." She hurried toward him. "What are you doing standing here?" Before Ethan could answer, Richard interrupted. "This guest is causing confusion." Maria looked shocked. "Guest?" She turned toward Richard. "This is Mr. Ethan Carter." "So?" Maria couldn't believe what she was hearing. "So, he owns this hotel." Silence. Complete silence. Richard laughed nervously. "Nice joke." Maria stared at him. "I'm not joking." Vanessa's face turned pale. Richard suddenly felt uneasy. "Owner." Maria nodded. "He bought the Sterling Crown Hotel Group last year." Every employee froze. One of the security guards slowly stepped backward. Guests looked at one another in disbelief. Richard forced a smile. There must be some misunderstanding. Ethan calmly reached into his wallet. Instead of another credit card, he produced a sleek black access card. It bore only one silver word. "Owner." Richard's mouth fell open. Vanessa nearly dropped the room key. The entire lobby became completely silent. Lily looked up at her father. Daddy. Yes, you own the hotel. Ethan smiled. I suppose I forgot to mention that. She giggled. I thought you fixed buildings. I do. I thought owners wore fancy suits. They don't have to. The elderly guest nearby smiled proudly. Richard's confidence vanished instantly. He stammered. Mr. Carter. Ethan looked at him with calm eyes. I've been listening carefully. The lobby held its breath. Nobody knew what the quiet owner would do next.